Former Devolution Cabinet Secretary Waiguru says she did not come out publicly on suspected fraud at the Youth Enterprise Development Fund for fear of being victimized. Waiguru says the scandal at the Youth Fund came to her attention 2 weeks before she was forced to step down as Devolution Cabinet Secretary, and given the relevant investigative agencies had already been called in, she decided not to get involved beyond requesting an administrative report. Waiguru, however, refused to admit to appointing a businessman under investigation for stealing from the National Youth Service to the Youth Fund Board. Her refusal led to a heated exchange with members of the National Assembly's Public Investments Committee, by which she had been summoned this morning. Waiguru has also pointed the finger at her former principal secretary, Peter Mangiti, who she says should have caught on to the going-ons at the Youth Fund sooner, given that he was a de facto member of the board.
As a minister, I get correspondences on my desk saying that there is a situation and they have called CID and EACC. I have asked for an administrative report. That is what a minister does. An administrative report is a document that tells you the circumstances for the suspension and exactly what is going on. There is no other briefing that you can be given as a minister. Even if you receive a verbal briefing, there has to be a briefing that is signed with a pen that says this is what has happened. So even if I have a conversation with the PS and I say exactly what is going on and he says they suspected fraud, that is just an informal briefing. A formal briefing to a minister has to be done in writing and signed by the relevant institutions. So if I have asked them to give me an administrative report, I give them time to provide that administrative report. Now we have to decide whether it was wrong to ask for administrative report so that I have the information that you're saying that I should have had, because from what I have had is that there has been an allegation that why was I asking for an administrative report? How else would I know the details of what was going on? You can only know through an administrative report. The administrative report is the one that comes from inside the institution to a cabinet minister saying this is why we have suspended the CEO. We suspect that they have done this transaction. This is what and by the way, I started by talking about the role of the board. Those issues also have to go through the board before they come to the minister. The minister doesn't get direct briefings on certain issues where there is already a mandated legal requirement by a board to provide the oversight. So whether it is exciting or not, the point of the matter is at that point I did not know. And I didn't know until I left, for the simple reason I never left when I had received an administrative report. And I requested for the administrative report. That's all you can do as a minister. If I went beyond that, you would now be accusing me of interfering with investigations. You would be saying, why am I asking when EACC has been told to investigate and CID has been asked to investigate? So let's be clear on which side we are leaning on. What is it that I failed as a minister to do? I asked for an administrative report. It did not come. Why? Because I asked for it on the day when they wrote to EACC, which was 4th November. I resigned on 21st of November. So if it was like 6-7 months, that's another conversation altogether. But maybe they were already preparing it. Who knows? But in terms of being provided for a briefing, I would never make reference as a minister to a verbal briefing. That's not the way government works.